Chapter 12 The Missing Piece. When they got to the throne room, Aspen was sitting on a lumpy block of ice. Kara guessed that it had once been a chair. A sparkly ice chandelier hung overhead. Around them, guards mopped the melting floor. "Have you solved the mystery of my broken mirror?" Aspen asked. Well, Your Highness," Kara said. "We followed a few leads, but at the moment, Rooster soared off Jed's shoulder and dived at Aspen's feet. "Get that bird away from me," Aspen shouted. She kicked her feet, but Rooster kept pecking at Aspen's shoes. As Jed tried to grab Rooster, Kara noticed something. Rooster wasn't pecking at the shiny buckles on the top of Aspen's shoes. He was pecking at the soles. "Your Highness," Kara cried, "I know what happened to the missing piece of the mirror." Aspen jumped to her feet. "What?" Rai said there was a footprint in the broken glass, like someone stepped in it. Kara explained, "I think the piece of glass got stuck to someone's shoe. Just like the bird seed got stuck to mine," she thought. "Then go search Sola's shoes," Aspen said. "Your Highness, could we check yours first?" Kara asked. "Mine?" Aspen sputtered. Kara continued. "I think the footprint was yours," she said to Aspen. "You must have stepped in the glass when you first found the broken mirror." Aspen lifted her foot. Sure enough, the piece of glass was stuck to the bottom of Aspen's shoe. Kara plunked out the glass and put it in Aspen's hand. The princess looked at it in surprise. "I can't believe it. All this time, the missing piece was under my foot," she said. "Good job, Rooster," Jed said, patting the crow's head. "But I don't understand," Aspen said. "Who broke the mirror?" "You did, Your Highness," Kara said. Chapter 13 Try again. "That's ridiculous," Aspen cried. "Why would I break my own magic mirror?" "It was an accident," Kara said. "You slammed your door and the mirror fell." Aspen opened her mouth to argue. Then she closed it again. "Perhaps you're right," she said. Then her eyes lit up. "Now we can finally fix the mirror." Kara, Jed, and Rai got to work. But even though they had all the pieces, they couldn't fix the mirror. "Try harder," Aspen cried. Rai brought a fresh block of ice, but the pieces wouldn't freeze together. Kara tried a special shoe glue from her bag, but it wasn't strong enough. "What if we asked Gorda to cook it?" Jed asked. "That might melt the glass." But even in the hottest stew, the mirror stayed in pieces. "Maybe only magic can fix it," Rai said finally. "But I don't have magic without my mirror." Aspen cried. Kara saw tears in her eyes. Maybe Aspen wasn't so different from her sister Sola after all. "Wait, Sola!" "Maybe Sola can use her magic mirror to help us," Kara said. Aspen glared at her. "I won't ask my sister for help," the princess said. "Why not?" Jed asked. "Clyde likes Sola better," Aspen said with a sniff. "It was the same with our parents. She was their favorite too." At that moment, the ice chandelier crashed to the floor. Everyone dived for cover. Shards of ice rained over them. Aspen brushed herself off. "Someone clean this mess. I'm going to my room," she cried. Then she stormed away, calling for Clyde. "Now what?" Jed asked. We have to get Sola and Aspen together, Kara replied. And we need to hurry. This palace is crumbling around us. Jed nodded. But how are we going to do that? He asked. I have an idea, Kara said with a smile. Rai, let Sola know we need her help. And Jed, I hope Rooster can crow really loudly. Chapter 14. Tricked. Square! Rooster crowed. Someone silence that bird, Aspen cried. It is time for Clyde's nap. Sorry, Your Highness, we can't make Rooster stop. We can't catch him, Jed said. He's outside on the wall, Kara said. Square! Rooster crowed again, even louder. Aspen hopped. I will take care of this myself, she said. She stormed out of the palace. Clyde was at her side. Kara and Jed hurried after them. When Aspen reached the wall, Sola stepped out of the small gate. She looked tired and weak, but she was smiling. Aspen jumped back in surprise. What are you doing here? She asked. Sister, I can't keep summer going forever, Sola said. Let me help you fix your mirror. Why would you help me? Aspen asked. Is it so everyone can say you are the nice one? The sunny one? The warm one? Clyde leaped out of Aspen's arms and ran over to Sola. See, Aspen cried. Everyone likes you better. Uh-oh. The plan wasn't going the way Kara had wanted. The sister had to apologize and not fight over the monkey again, she thought. Then something strange happened. Clyde grabbed both sisters' hands. He pulled them forward until they were standing together. Then he hopped up and down in excitement. Aspen and Sola jumped apart, but Clyde pulled them together again. What do you want us to do? Sola asked. I don't understand, Aspen said. But Kara understood. He wants you to make up, she said. Your parents didn't want you to share Clyde by sending him back and forth between your palaces. They wanted you to take care of him together. Jed's face lit up. That's why he keeps running from palace to palace, he said. He doesn't want to choose between you. Clyde shrieked with excitement and jumped up and down again. Aspen and Sola looked at him in surprise. Kara saw her chance. Princess Aspen, she began, your sister is all alone in the Sun Palace. Maybe you could unfreeze her guards. Aspen frowned. Only if she takes down that vine wall, she said. I have a better idea, said Sola. What if I rebuild the wall into a house for Cloud? Then he won't have to choose between our palaces. We can both visit him there. He can't stay there alone, Aspen said. Who will care for him? I will, Rai called out. Please, your highnesses. I'm tired of being too hot and too cold all the time. Then it's settled, said Aspen and Sola at once. They looked at each other and smiled. I'm sorry, I thought you broke my magic mirror, Aspen said to her sister. Will you help me fix it? Rai hurried over with the broken mirror, and Aspen took it in her hands. Sola held out her own mirror and closed her eyes. Chapter 15. All in one piece. As Kara watched, the gold mirror grew brighter and brighter, and then, flash! A beam of golden light shot out. It hit the silver mirror, and the broken glass started to glow. When it cooled, everyone gasped. The silver mirror was all in one piece again. Aspen hugged the mirror to her chest. Thank you, she said to Sola. I guess this is why Mom and Dad always liked you better. What? Sola said. No, they liked you better. The sisters laughed in surprise. Then they threw their arms around each other. See, Jed said to Kara. It all worked out. And it's a good thing Rooster came with us. We never would have found that missing piece without him. He fed the crow some seeds. Good boy, Rooster, Kara said. Clyde ran over and jumped onto Jed's shoulders. Then he started eating seeds out of Jed's hand. Kara laughed at the look of joy on Jed's face. She knew how he felt. Aspen turned to Kara and Jed. Thank you, she said. If there is anything I can do for you. Your Highness, Jed broke in. Maybe we could finally have some ice cream. Jed, Kara cried, rolling her eyes. What's ice cream? Sola asked. Jed grinned. You're going to love it. Chapter 16. Ice Cream Feast. They all gathered in the kitchen where Jed helped the cook make an ice cream sundae feast. Kara was glad to eat something cold that did not taste like fish. As they ate, Aspen and Sola laughed and chatted like old friends. They even took turns feeding Clyde bites of ice cream. When the feast was over, Aspen invited Kara and Jed to stay at the Ice Palace for as long as they wanted. Thank you, Your Highness, Kara said, but it's time for us to head home. Kara and Jed said their goodbyes. Then they turned and started on the road for home. As they walked along the road, the sun hid behind the clouds. The air turned cool and crisp. Tiny flakes began to flutter from the sky. Look, Jed cried. It's snowing. He caught a snowflake on his tongue. Soon, snow covered the land. Kara sighed happily. Their adventure had been a success, and summer was finally over. Plop! A snowball landed on Kara's head. Hey! Kara cried as Jed ran away. Kara grabbed a handful of snow. Then she chased Jed and Rooster along the road toward home. The end.